What's up, everybody? So, little different of a tone this week, I think. Uncle Kevin's here, so it's actually kind of a different way to film a video because I know he can hear what I'm going to say. But what I'm going to say is something that might happen to a lot of carvers, but might not, you know? And I've thought a lot about this over the last little while to make a video about this. And this is just going to be talking. This is not learning. This is not, this is more about like the Carvers Block or depression or, I don't think it's depression, but it's Carvers Block. And it happens when you start really carving. And I'm going to talk about what it's like to be a carver full-time, have that, you know, vulnerability of it's your carver starve. I'm going to write that down because I feel like I'm going to talk about stuff now and not hit the things I talk about now. Carver starve. You know, the idea is that chainsaw carving is a very fun... Uncle Kevin's cleaning out his truck. But, you know, and that's something that comes into it too. You know, there's beer cans, there's life, there's everything. The idea that chainsaw carving is this fun, easy life that is artistic and fun, there is that. And the way I portray it on YouTube is honestly that all the time. Because that's what people want to see. They want to see happy. They want to see real, like fake. They want to live in a moment that looks like it's all seamless. But in reality, when you're carving, nothing is seamless and nothing is perfect. You know, like we struggle and we hustle. And it's never easy. Like Kev's got his thing. And the great thing that Kev being here is every carver is always different. There's not one of you out there that is going to watch this video and have the same story. Not one of you are going to be Ryan, who auditioned for a TV show, who was an actor who auditioned to be the apprentice on a show called Saw Dogs and fell in love with carving and then became a pro carver. You know, like that's the quickest way to say it. That's not going to happen to anybody else. And as I have done this, like for me with carving, it was the perfect time in my life where I had nothing else. I didn't have a real job I was happy with. I had a job in my 20s that I liked, but I didn't live in LA anymore and I needed something, and carving was what saved my life. That and my wife. Those two things changed me forever. But when it first happened, carving was the first thing that came. And when I started, I had no other options. You know, I've said it in stories before. If you've watched this page, when Saw Dogs came out, the show ended. I didn't want to be the butt of all jokes. I was the apprentice. I was an asshole on the show. I moved in with my mom and my dad. I carved for a year. The show got canceled. And Chris Foltz, to his credit, I can't even believe he would have said it, said, "I'm going to be the face of chainsaw carving." Quote him, ask him. That's what he said. That's why I say it. That was I didn't believe that. And I still don't believe that, and I'm not. I mean, I was for a while, and now there's a lot of new up-and-comers and awesome stuff, and things that are happening with chainsaw carving is amazing, because that's the best thing about carving is its evolution. And for me, I found that it was exciting and fun, and I carved and I loved it, and I carved every day, and I see it all the time now. There's so many new carvers, all of you, that are carving like crazy, sending me pictures, sending me videos, sending me stuff of your work, asking for critiques, asking for this stuff. I absolutely love it. I do my best to get back to you. It's hard to tell you like, hey man, you got to do this, you got to do this, and paint a nice picture on it sometimes. But, you know, when I'm being a judge on a cut above, I could be like, man, this is this. But at the same time, we're all learning, we're all doing stuff. So you're all just hungry and giving her. And the thing that happens over time when you have this go on for a long time, like I've been carving full time 12 years. It provides for my family. I now have a family. You know, I got my daughter, Soph. I got my wife. I've got carvers who are starting to rely on me. I've got the carving world that I try to keep pushing and helping in the growth of this. There's lots of things pulling and prodding and doing, you know, a cut above, trying to get season 2. We still don't have that. We've got 3/4 of the money, but we don't have the rest of it, which is insane to me. But, you know, there's a lot of different things that can pile on top of carvers. And my point is, everyone is different and we all hit a block. And when you hit the block sucks. You know, it's depressing. I come to the shop sometimes, I don't want to carve. I come to the shop, I feel like I'm doing anything I can do that feels productive to not carve. And I know there's so many people out there that have probably done this. If you're just getting started, turn this video off, enjoy your years of carving. Don't listen to this video. Do not watch this video. If you've been carving for a while and you're feeling the pressure of what it's like to carve or starve, then this might help you. And remember, there's all of us out there. We all who carve do this. And we all talk to each other. And that is one thing that I alluded to in a video about having friends. And having friends like, I got Kevin, I got Chris Foltz, I got Ryan Anderson, I got Ryan Villiers, I got Sam, I got Chris, I've got so many different, Samadowski, Tynan, you name it. Oh, there's so many great carvers that I can rely on that help me keep my spirits up, keep my mojo going, you know? Like this job is, it's amazing. Like, we are so lucky to be able to make art for a living. There's nothing better than that. That is the truth of the matter, that, you know, this is an insane job. But it's the one thing that I'm starting to find is it's carve or starve. And it never ends. So everyone who's going to tell you, hey, oh, I want to start carving, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to do this. Like, yes, do it. But just remember that this never ends. This anxiety of, am I going to be able to pay my bills? Am I going to be able to do this? People think because I'm on a TV show that it's like, oh, it's this. Oh, you're Ryan from that. It's not. They don't pay that much. You know what I mean? Like, it's not. It's a fucking reality show. It doesn't pay that much. Like, it's still, like, it happens and it's big and it's wow and it's grandiose. But then when it's over, it's over. And the thing with carving is, like, it never ends. So yes, the idea of being an artist and doing this job and having this lifestyle is amazing. But remember, the hustle never ends. And then there's times when you hit the block. And when you hit the block, it's good to have friends. Like Kevin over there, who's watching, giggling, laughing. We're having beers today. Like, we're just kind of talking and working through some shit. Because I got a lot on my plate today, and it hasn't been an easy day for me. And I've been in a funk. I'm not going to lie. The last couple months, you haven't seen many videos. You've seen a lot of regurgitated videos of, you know, old videos made to shorts and this kind of stuff. Because I hit the wall, and I hit the wall hard. And I had a great conversation with a carver, I don't want to say who it is, who also suffers from, you know, from this kind of stuff, you know? Like, we all do. And I had a conversation this morning with one of the carver who's just about to start doing YouTube. You'll see me. I don't want to put him on blast, but at the same time, you'll know who it is if you watch me and you follow me. He's going to start a YouTube page soon, and he's a top carver, and he said this is one of the best things that anyone could do because it's not talked about enough. So, like, I'll say it to all of you out there, for you I'm terrible at responding, but if you feel like you're having a bad day and you need some help, and I get it all the time, and it's not fun because I don't like it when people call and say, hey man, I can't pay my bills because I don't have the money. So I gotta carve. What can I do to carve? This just happened a couple days ago. A guy messaged me and was like, I only got a chainsaw. What can I carve? What can I carve with just a chainsaw that I can sell on the road? And I swear to God, this is the truth. And I said to him, like, do trees, do characteristic bears, do whatever you can. Hit the fucking road and carve. And I hate that shit. And I hate that carvers have to carve to start, but there is that point at the beginning when you start carving that you're not gonna make that money. It takes 3 years. Chris Voltz told me it's gonna take 3 years to build your repertoire up. And it's constantly just getting by. And then it happens to be able to get by. But then after that 3 years, you rip it up for 3 more years, you get really good. Then 3 more years after that, you're stoked, you're rocking, you got like jobs, commissions. And then sometimes it could happen in the first year, could happen in the 5 year, could happen whenever. But when that wall hits, it hits like a fucking ton of bricks. And it sucks. And it takes just talking to your buddies, expressing your feelings, saying, hey, I had a shitty day today and I don't feel like carving. I don't feel like this. I don't feel like that. I feel like I'm consumed with debt. I'm worried that I don't have my next carving paid. I can't pay my bills. You know, like that is a daunting feeling. But at that same time, remember that there's so many carvers out there that are going through the same thing. So make sure you make friends with carvers. It's not like it used to be. You can message me. I'll do my best to respond. Trust me. Look at my socials. There's like 200,000 people who watch my page. It's hard for me to respond to everybody. But there's so many other carvers around the world that are like keen, hungry, at the same place you are in the carving world. You know, and you don't have to have that. You need mentors. You need people you can mentor. There's so many different, you know, assets to this world. And it's about changing and growing and showing and experiencing like this art. And when it gets hard and when it gets shitty, remember you got your friends to lean on who are doing the same thing. It may not be in that same spot as you are at that time, but remember they might be there one day. And, you know, like I have Kev, I've got Fultz, I've got Anderson, I've got my wife, I've got, you know, Villiers, some few people that I lean on that help me when I'm down. And I'm just saying that we all go through it and it will happen. And it's something that will just snap though. Maybe it'll take this video, you watch it and you've been in a funk and everything's shit. And then you just go, holy crap, I'm out of it. I'm inspired again. And then it's like, boom, it's like everything floods back into you. And you are like, it's like a wave and it happens like that. Like it's crazy. It's a crazy, crazy feeling when you feel the weight on your shoulders wash away. And I don't know where this video is going. I just wanted to kind of say that because I think that like when you're in that, when that wave is crashing down on you, just remember that once it rolls away and waves up, you can get back up and the only place you can be is down and you can get back up and you can be on the top. You could be at the best of who you are. Like this could be like, this is probably one of the top parts of my career right now. And I still feel that weight. And it still bogs me down and drags me down. And it's taken me out for like a month. Like I haven't been grinding it out and carving like I need to and pushing myself to make the best sculptures that I can. And, you know, having a good friend like Kev, having good friends, my wife and my kid, and then just everything kind of realizing that it's not as bad as it might be. And that everything's going to work out and everything will be fine. is a weightlifter. And when you do that and you realize that this is an awesome job and it is a creative job and it's not just the hustle, take it when you can get it. I don't know. I mean, I just make sure that you remember that it's still fun. You have good friends that you can rely on. And if you ever need help or you feel sad, have a friend you can lean on. Have a friend that's there for you in a carving world, that can trade ideas with you, that can show you how to do stuff, you know? Because that is really what has helped me when I have been in a serious funk. And know that we all go through it, whether you're at the top of your career or at the bottom just beginning, you know? And it's gonna happen throughout your career. It's happened to me 3 times. And it's happened to a few other carvers that I know that I won't name. And we've talked about it, like not even the ones that I've named, because I'm pretty open with my own stuff. And I feel like this is the most open I've ever been on YouTube, and maybe the most open I might not even post this video, to be honest, but it feels good to just get it out there.
I love hearing it.
You love hearing it.
You always go through that, though. Some years are great, and some years are really downers.
Yeah.
You know, COVID was great. Everybody's working on their yards, and now nobody's working on their yards.
Yeah, exactly. COVID was great, and now no one's working on their yards.
Great
and
for sales, that is.
Yeah, sales are down. I mean, it's probably for every carver out there is the economy's crashing.
Yeah.
And we're a carver-starved group, and I know that that's going to be tough, and especially with all the, you know, new tools you want to buy. And
start hitting a lot of shows.
Yeah, hit the road. I mean, I always said to myself, like, there's roadside carvers, and I'll do whatever it takes. I'll do whatever it takes to be able to provide for my family. And if I had to roadside carve, I'll roadside carve. And I, you know, and that's like a thing. There's so many different varieties of carving now. There are roadside carvers who literally probably make more money than I do. I know Mark Culp's brother, when he was alive, used to go and stop at a Shell station and literally carve all summer, and probably made more money than all of us put together. He used to slam them out. Like just crazy bears. They weren't the best at all. Square bears. He had the best presentation ever. So, you know, just in general, like right now, this economy is going to go to shit. Who knows if it will, but just remember, like, you're not alone. You have carvers. Make sure if you don't have carvers, talk to carvers. Send me a message. I promise you, I try my best to get back to you. And I suck at YouTube. I'm good on Instagram, Facebook, but I'm slow. And because I'm just trying to pump out stuff for you guys too. Because I really think that growing and developing carving is like a burden on my shoulders, you know? Like I've done, you know, Carver Kings, a cut above. A cut above was so much work. I'm still trying to keep a cut above alive, but I just don't know what's going to happen. My guess is probably not, but maybe a miracle will happen. But that's the thing. Like, I'm always trying to promote the growth of this craft. And now it's amazing because there's so many new carvers and there's so many great people like you who are out there. And just remember, you're not alone, and have fun. Enjoy it. And when it gets fucking tense and shitty and you feel like you don't want to carve, reach out to your buddy, because you never know if they're going through the same thing, because nobody talks. Men are too strong and women are too strong, and nobody wants to say, like, hey, you know, like, I'm feeling shitty today. You're like, how are you feeling? You know, like, it's true. You know, like, you just don't want to carve some days, and that's okay. It really is okay, you know?
You
but
can't force yourself to be.
You can't force. You can't force creativity.
That's it.
And that's the thing of our job. And a lot of the times we're being told to be creative.
Yeah.
Because you're a commission. You know, it's a commission.
And then there's a lot of times.
Here, come over here so you're on camera.
Big on what you've done. You know, you do a piece for them, and they're like, "Oh, it's not quite what I envisioned."
Yeah.
You know, it's like, wow, what do you do?
Yeah. And that's
disappointing.
That shit happens all the time. People are always like, You know, oh, I wanted this, you know, and you're at the same point. You're like, well, what am I supposed to do? You told me an eagle soaring, and then you give me a fucking...
Yeah.
I give you an eagle soaring, and it's not the way you wanted it. But they've also dickered you down on a job. They don't want to pay the money.
Yeah, the budget isn't where it should be for a lot of things sometimes.
Yeah.
So you try and fit that in as well.
Yep.
And you always do your best, of course.
And that's going to be the thing that happens forever in your career. Basically, everyone is going to try to dicker you down. Nobody ever wants to pay the most. Shoot a high number and then counter down, because it's always going to be a counter. And you know, but that's the thing. You people always fucking have the expectation of something they saw on Instagram or this
Something
new
in their
AI
head,
garbage.
and then you got to come up with their idea.
Yeah.
Then you carve it, and it's like not quite what they were thinking.
Yeah.
It's only happened to me a few times, but still, it's disheartening when it does.
Oh, totally.
Throws you off. It's like, oh man, you know.
I had it happen
Killer piece. And then you got people coming like me coming through the gallery, and they love the piece.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everybody's talking about it. With the people that ordered it, it was like, oh, it's not quite what I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
But
exactly.
yeah.
And it's always going to be
Come
that
and
way.
pick it up, you fuckers. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, I kicked a person off the property once. I had them come. I did a carving for them, and they were like, "Well, that doesn't look like it." And I was like, "Well, you had a $3,000 budget, and then you made it $1,000."
Oh boy, yeah.
And then it doesn't look exactly like the idea that you had.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Okay." She's like, "Well, I don't think it's gonna work." And I was like, "Well, get off my property.
Yeah.
See you later."
Yeah.
She's like, and I was like, "No,
What
fuck
do you do
you.
for $1,000? Like the wood is like if you got to buy your logs or even salvage it, you know, like you're spending a half a day getting a nice big log home.
Yeah.
Even if you got to pay for it and or not, it's like wow, that's a huge cost right there.
Yeah, but you know what? Like the point of the we're veering off, but the point of the video is like, you know, when you got a good bud and a pal who's going to be here for you, and friends and stuff like that inspire you, right? Like it's good to have that, you know. It's good to have carvers who can work together, carve together, be friends together, talk together, and play off of each other, because there's so much inspiration out there that when the dark clouds do come, I think it's best to talk about it, you know? And nobody does. And that's the thing. He's stubborn as shit. He doesn't talk about his problems.
I just hula hoop and juggle.
Yeah, exactly. He's never sad. I mean,
Drink a lot of wine.
Yeah, exactly. But for me, you know, like there's times where I sit here at this shop and I don't do what I need to do. And I finally had this like pressure lifted off, because I knew you know, with this elk actually was a big thing. Having Kev come over and carve with me kind of got me out of this funk that I was in, because it's so fun when you're on the road. You go on the road and you carve and you're doing these shows in front of people, and then it's over.
Yeah, and you're pulling off really good stuff really fast a lot of times, and you're super proud of it. And then you come home and it's like, oh boy, okay, now you got
commission season.
You aren't pushing yourself, or you're not getting pushed because you don't have a crowd now.
Yeah, so just
and a lot of you don't have crowds around you. You're just trying to work through it and carve.
Learn.
That's how we all started. Like,
yep.
I've been at it 27 years, and there's lots of ups and downs.
And that's the thing. There's lots of ups and downs, and that's kind of the point of the video, is that, you know, don't ever think you're alone. Don't ever think it's ever going to be easy, but it is going to be fun. You know, it's what you make it. I think that's the best way to do it. There's carvers who work like absolutely incredible, you know, like
hours and hours, like
Mad Mike,
Mike
Ayers. He's like an inspiration to how fast and how good. And his work ethic, man, like his work ethic is like no other. But I'm sure he probably goes through things too, and every artist goes through things. But like, you know, you've got to find a balance to keep yourself level, and at that same time, you know, progressing and being happy. Because I mean, this job fucking drags you down sometimes, because it's like, hey, carve my my gravestone for or my dead dog. Carve my carve my this for my husband, carve my that for my wife, carve my this for my that. A lot of our carvings are very morbid, and we have a much more in-depth relationship with clients than any other profession that I've ever met. I've never had someone say, hey, like the grizzly bear that just left, the gentleman's friend died. His name was Grizz, so we carved a grizzly bear.
Yeah.
You know? Like and now I feel like I know that dude, and I just made something that's going to last.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I was super excited. Yeah.
But at that same time, there's that weight of death. You know, like a weight. It's not just easy. Like for me, it's like, oh, great. Like I know. I made money. I got a commission. But then at the same time, you're like, okay, what's this guy's deal? What was this? Oh, you learn about him, and then you're like, oh, fuck.
I did 2 memorial benches this year.
Yeah.
And it was their sons that died, and they were like, kids were like 22 or something like that.
Oh.
Yeah. It's like, whoa.
I did this one bench one time for a lady. She asked for a horse and, or I don't want to say it, two things. One was, and 2 things died in 2 weeks. No, 3 things.
Yeah.
Her husband died.
Oh boy.
Her animal, which was a horse, because I already said it, and then another animal died. And she wanted a single seat bench with the hands wrapped around the face of the husband as the back bench.
Yeah.
And then the 2 animals on the side.
2-dimensional on the face.
3-dimensional. Yeah, 2-dimensional on the face.
Yeah.
And then the animal with the hands of the husband wrapped around, so she could sit inside of him.
Oh, isn't that wonderful? That's pretty tough.
I begged her to make it a multi-seat bench, which she eventually did and thanked me for later.
Oh, I'd like to see a picture of that.
I don't want to because the lady is...
Oh, no.
Yeah. I'll show you. Yeah. But it was so heavy. Like, that's the thing. It was so heavy because she, you know, it was heavy.
No shit.
You like, how do you have that much loss and that much time, and then you're carving and you're making it for a lady who's alone, and you're like, oh.
I had this elderly lady. I had to do her bust and her little dog one time.
Yeah.
And but she out of a burrow is awesome. And she's like, oh, and the nose is a little bit different. And so I fixed it up while she was there, and she's like, perfect. And then I had to do a small one for her daughter. The big one was for the son. The small one was for her daughter that she didn't like so much. So she's like, I don't really care how this one turns out. So it was pretty funny.
Oh, that's crazy. I guess you can find the humor in the sad.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, like, you know, like, in the point of this video is kind of like, we all go through the ups and the downs and the ebbs and the flows, and you're not alone. And hopefully there's, I don't know, it was a lot of talking. So
It always, you know what? It always gets better. That's the way I look at it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like the money for me, it's always like, okay, might be struggling this month, but next month it's like, wow, you got tons of stuff going on, and it's helpful to have a gallery like me. No, that's the thing. People can walk through. If you got a good location, that's number one. And that's the one thing too, is everybody's different. No one person's the same. Like, Kev's got things one month, I've got things the other month where I'm like, oh man, am I going to be able to make sure I'm booked here? I'm going to book here. I'm thinking for the summer for booking us on our shows. Yeah. I'm like, everybody's different. And so just know even though you're all different, and I might be me, he might be him, and you might be you, we're all in this craft together. And if you ever, need help and you're ever down, make sure you got someone, or you can reach out to me or Kev, but make sure you reach out. Don't be... Yeah, and rich parents would help too. And if you have rich parents, definitely call me. Mom, can I get a loan? That'd be great. But just make sure that you're always open and honest, because this is like from the top carvers who are doing the best to the bottom carvers who are just not bottom. It's from the people who you see who think have these perfect lives and these amazing YouTube pages and amazing carving pages, to the people who are just getting started, who have no idea and are just learning about this thing. We're all people, and
everybody has their fucking flaws and ups and downs and shit. So, you know, if you're still here at the end of the video, thank you. And, you know, I'm going to stop it because it just clicked 30 minutes and that's a lot of talking.
But it was good. I liked hearing it.
Did you?
I did, really. Yeah,
cool. Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Something that needs to be said at some point, right?
I think so.
Oh, jeez. I go through it. Like,
we all go through the ups and the downs. And just make sure that when you're down, you got someone to talk to. And if you don't have someone to talk to, message us or message someone. I mean, don't put the burden on me, but just make sure you got somebody. So yeah, man. And I hope that you know that you're not alone and everybody's there. And just remember, try to find the beauty in everything and have fun, because we are so lucky to do this job. And if you're just getting started, remember that it is a grind. It's like when people message me like, hey, I want to do YouTube. I'm like, dude.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, Kev's the perfect.
I'm the perfect example.
You're a perfect example.
And it's like, you know what? I just want to carve.
Yeah.
When I'm in the mode, it's like all of a sudden setting up the cameras and doing this. It's like, no, when I'm ready to carve, I'm carving. Yeah. It's like, all right, finally I'm like, right on, let's go for this.
And then you got to stop and
then
change.
It's on in film. It's like, you know what? When I'm carving right now, like this last bit, it's just, I want to carve.
Yeah.
I'm having fun doing it. I just want to have fun doing it, and not really set up my cameras and get these angles. And I just want to get in my head space of creating
it. Yeah. And that's the one thing carving and YouTube is not easy. Like, all this stuff is not easy. All these different things that
it pulls your focus away.
You know?
When you're carving, it's like reading a book. Or, you know, watching a great movie. It's like, oh, you watch it all unfold, and it's like, oh, wait a minute, now I got to move the camera over here. And it's, for me, a lot of times it breaks my
concentration and your zone.
My zone.
Dude, 100%. 100%. Yeah. When I'm making videos, I'm just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
But look at this video.
It's very beneficial, though, when you do the videos, and then
it's good for people.
It's amazing, yeah.
But I look at it like this, like we're 30 minutes into it, and we're 30 minutes into talking, and that's 30 minutes out of our day that we could be carving.
Yeah, but honestly, I'm liking hearing what you said anyways.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it is the truth. So guys and girls and everybody who's out there, remember that the artist block does happen, and you're not alone, and depression feels real. It may not be depression, but it's debilitating. You don't want to work. And just remember that it's going to take one thing, something. Maybe it's this video. Maybe it's something that's going to make you snap and go, I remember why I love this job.
Do some fun stuff for yourself.
Yes.
Like, I started carving for myself.
Yeah.
Dragons and fantasy stuff.
Yeah.
And then you got to do what sells, of course.
Yeah, of course.
And then it's like, but then you got to go back to why did you start this?
That's true too.
You can't start this just to be wanting to make money.
Yep. I think this elk that we put together, that thing really helped me.
When you can create a piece like this, it brings it back.
And just carving with you, like that week you came a couple weeks ago. Like I hadn't done anything. And then me and Kev just started ripping and having so much fun together.
Yeah.
And carving together and just having like a blast. And putting this thing, big freaking elk together was, you know, it's going to be there. It'll be a whole video later. But that really changed it. And that's the one thing. And you're right. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe you need to sometimes maybe for me, I need to take a step back and stop doing commissions and do something for myself of why I love carving, because I love doing the big pieces. I really do. I think
that is pretty cool.
The big pieces make me really happy.
I can see how that... Like my cougar, I'm like, I'm going to have to pay you to come over. Get me out of my slump at home.
But that's the thing, yeah. We all have our slumps. I know Kev gets in his slump. That's why I told him to come over here today. He's been in a slump at the shop.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I've been in a slump too, so maybe we'll get each other out of this. So just, you know, I've repeated myself too many times. So thank you for watching, and I hope that something in this video has helped you. Know you're not alone. If you ever feel like really, really depressed, please make sure you contact someone, because there are times when people, you know, don't feel good about themselves, and I don't ever want suicide or anything like that, but there's that out there. So if you ever feel like that, make sure you contact the right people, like the suicide prevention letter or the whatever numbers. I don't know those. This is not the point of this video. This is the point of the video of Artist Block and what it happens to people. And it's real and it's out there and it happens to all of us. So have your best buddy, and you know, enjoy yourselves, and thank you for watching, and thanks for following my page and liking these videos. And maybe one day Kevin will make another video, but like you said, you doing YouTube's fucking hard too.
Yeah, I will. I've got lots done up.
He's got a lot filmed.
Lot filmed, but it's
nothing edited.
I just need to carve. I just need to love carving.
Well, then let's carve.
Or which I do, but I just gotta love it more. Okay,
see you guys. Thank you, and you know, never let the hustle end, because that's all it is in this carving world. It's a hustle, hustle, hustle. You!